Home Assistant, order me some tickets to Orlando, Florida. Make them the cheapest tickets possible. Then also schedule me dinner for an hour before the flight.
I'm sorry, Tim, I can't do that.
I'm so excited to be here today to present you two things we've been working on. A revolutionary new foundation model and a groundbreaking consumer mobile device powered by it. Our mission is to create the simplest computer, something so intuitive that you don't need to learn how to use it. The best way to achieve this is to break away from the base operating system currently used by smartphones.
Hey Rabbit, order me some tickets to Orlando, Florida, and schedule me dinner before the flight.
Exploring ticketing options to make your trip a reality. For your trip, I found various flight options, a range of hotels to choose from.
Rabbit, thank you very much. The R1 handheld device offers a solution to a lot of our problems that we have with Home Assistant devices that might be set up in our, cell phones or even our home devices that I have back at that table over there, say Google's, Apple's, and Amazon's devices, where the way that it uses software to process our voice is much different than what this company is stating that they're able to capably do. They call this the language action model. But before I do that, I just want to kind of give you a little spec and dimensions of the device itself, where it's a square, it's a little square handheld device. It has a USB-C slot. It has an SD card for cellular service. And it also has a a movable camera, so it can move on both sides of this device. And it's a push to talk device. So looking at the keynote that the CEO of Rabbit showed, he was holding on to device, asking him a specific question, and it was a multiple actioned question, just like we saw in that little skit. Give me tickets, give me a restaurant before I get to the airport so I can eat before the flight. Very simplified thing that most, if we're going to call these artificial intelligent devices, and I kind of wear myself towards that, but most voice input computers, that's what I'm going to call it, as we kind of really saw this big thing bloom up when Amazon introduced the first Alexa devices. Never mind, Alexa. So it's more of I think what they're trying to do with this language action model, which is software devices. Never mind, Google. All right. So what it's trying to do is listen to what we're stating and give multiple actions towards our voice instead of what these two guys do at the moment, which is one command per one action. So the Rabbit itself is kind of offering this ability through what it's already learned, right? And what we're going to train it on a software application in the cloud, which they actually call the rabbit hole, which I think this is pretty cool. I think these guys are having fun with their devices. I know they're kind of trying to outbeat a specific other device, which was a little pin device that you put on, say, right here on your shoulder, on your chest, and it has the projector and you're looking at it. And it's also subscription based, where the Rabbit One is offering a device for $199, and there's no subscription to this. So, a few things that if we're going to look really into this, that the Rabbit One's going to offer. So these are green things that are kind of already, they're already able to do this. All right. So you're already able to do a search, like a Google search. You're already able to play music. I'm not exactly too sure what music service is, but I'm assuming Spotify, Google Music and Apple Music. Not too sure. Rideshare, they've already demoed the rideshare with Uber, I'm assuming. And then food, I'm assuming the DoorDash and Uber is kind of connected into this. So as the CEO kind of stated, it's a way to interact with this device without actually opening up an application. They call it generative AI and translation, which they didn't demo the translation. But if they can get this model to work fairly well, where you can just talk like we're talking and then transition it into Chinese as you talk in a quick way, I think they might have something on here. Then they have some exploratory things, which kind of I think are not working on this. Travel, AI enhanced communications. Okay, not exactly too sure what that means, but it may not be as much as we think with the demo that they've shown through YouTube webpage. And then note taking. Now, if this thing's able to dictate and listen and take notes while you're at school, I think this might be a fairly good assistive technology for people who have trouble with taking notes in classes. Again, this seems like a very decent device if the capabilities can stand up and they work. I'm not trying to downplay this device at all, because I'm excited at the fact that we have a device that may be able to work for the price it is. Then some other things that are undergoing beta testing. They're telling us a point of interest in research. So the reservations thing, kind of like what I did in that little skit, it's planned. That's what they're saying. Ticketing, again, same deal. It's planned. Navigation is planned. And mobile desktop teach mode. Okay. So again, that's kind of like where you're teaching this device. They're telling us that it's planned. So I really think that, and then they're kind of laying this straight out. They're stating that the experimental mode is the web teach mode. So for that, I just hope people, when they actually do get these devices in hand, remember, this is a very small company. This is not Google. This is not Apple. All right. This is not Amazon, where they have had a lot of time to play with stuff. I just hope that their expectations don't overthrow the capabilities of this device. I think it's cool to have another type of device put out in the world, whether they make like a home assistant pod that like Amazon started to work on first, and then maybe move on into having a subscription-based app on a phone. I'm not too sure how this company is really looking towards this. Maybe they're really trying to not have a subscription-based platform. Who knows? But I think this is a pretty cool technology. What do you guys think about it? Let me know if you guys have comments down below. Please comment it down below in the comments. And as well, I'm going to ask you this again. If you like the content that I'm producing, give me a thumbs up. If you're not, give me a thumbs down. Let me know. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you again. This is Consumer Compute. Until the next video, guys.